This is the High Voltage Business Builders Podcast, daily intelligence for serious e-commerce portfolio builders across Amazon, TikTok Shop, Shopify, Walmart, and every channel that moves the needle. Neil Twa and his Voltage team all day, every day since 2012. Let's get into it.
$250,000 a year sounds like success, and it is. You've proven the model works. You've got a product that sells, reviews that hold, and a business that actually generates real cash flow. For a lot of sellers, that number felt impossible 12 months ago. Now it's your floor, and then you stall. Not for a week, not for a quarter. For 12 to 24 months, a lot of sellers sit right there, between $250 and $350, wondering what's broken. Orders are coming in, margins are holding, but growth has flatlined. You're working harder than ever, and the number barely moves. Here's what's actually happening. The systems that built your $250K business are the same systems that are capping it. The way you make decisions, the way you handle inventory, the way your entire operation runs through your head, your inbox, your phone. That was fine at $5K a month. It was manageable at $15K. At $20K a month, it starts to crack. Sellers at every level feel this differently. If you're just entering that $10 to $20K month range, this is the wall you're heading toward, and you can build ahead of it. If you're already stuck at $250K, this episode is a direct map out. If you're running $500 or more, you already know which of these shifts you delayed too long and what it cost you. The bridge from $250K to $1 million isn't about finding better products. It's not about running more ads. It's about 3 specific operational shifts that change how your business runs, not just what it sells. What are those shifts? Let's get into it. The first thing to understand, $250K is not a market ceiling. It's an operational ceiling. The market will take more from you. Your current setup won't let you deliver it. Here are the 3 shifts that separate sellers who cross the bridge from those who stall on it. Shift 1, owner-operated to SOP documented. At $250K, you are the system. You know where every order stands. You know when to reorder. You know how to handle a hijacker, a return spike, a listing suppression. That knowledge lives in your head, and that's the problem. Every hour you spend executing is an hour you're not building. You cannot grow what only you can run. The move is documentation, not someday. Now, standard operating procedures for every repeatable task. Inventory triggers, PPC review cadence, customer escalations, supplier communication. A seller doing $8K a month can start this with a single Google Doc per process. A larger operator needs a full playbook library. The principle is identical. Shift 2, single SKU to catalog. Most sellers who stall at $250K are writing 1 or 2 products. That's not a business. That's a bet. One algorithm change, one competitor with deeper pockets, one supply chain hiccup, and your revenue gets cut in half. Catalog depth is how you build durability. You don't need 50 SKUs. You need 6 to 10 products with real margin that serve the same core customer. That's a brand. That's defensible. Shift 3, reactive cash flow to capital strategy. At $250K, most sellers are managing cash week to week. Reorder when inventory gets low. Spend on ads when cash is available. That's survival mode. Crossing $1 million requires forward-looking capital planning, knowing your reorder cycles, your lead times, your seasonal cash gaps, and having a strategy to bridge them. These 3 shifts aren't sequential, they compound. Let me give you 2 sellers, both real patterns, both composites of what we see inside Voltage. Seller 1, home and kitchen category, doing $18 a month, 2 SKUs, solid 4.6-star ratings. Owner handling everything, PPC, supplier emails, FBA shipments, listing updates. Classic $250K ceiling in progress. He'd been at that revenue level for 8 months when he came to us. First move, we documented his reorder process. Took 3 hours. Created a trigger-based inventory SOP. When units on hand hit a specific threshold relative to sell-through rate, a reorder gets initiated. He didn't have to think about it anymore. That freed up roughly 6 hours a week. Second move, we identified 2 adjacent products serving the same buyer. Same search intent, same customer demographic, higher average order value. Launched both within 90 days. Neither was a home run out of the gate. Together, they added $6 a month within 4 months. Third move, we built a 90-day cash flow projection for the first time. He found a $22,000 gap he didn't know was coming, a seasonal inventory build colliding with a supplier payment. We solved it before it became a crisis. 12 months later, 41K a month. Same category, smarter structure. Seller 2, sporting goods. Already at $85K a month when we engaged. Single product line. Dominant in its niche, but dangerously exposed. One private label competitor had entered with a lower price point and was already taking share. The catalog expansion was already in motion. The gap was capital strategy. They were funding inventory growth out of operating cash and hitting a ceiling every Q4. We restructured the reorder cycle and introduced a revolving inventory credit line, freed up $140K in working capital flexibility. This is what sellers who survive platform changes do differently. They build the structure before the pressure arrives. 3 moves. Every level can apply them. Here's how. Move 1. Document one process this week. Not your whole operation. One process. Pick the task you do most often that someone else could do if they just had the instructions. Write it down, step by step. Screenshot it, time it. If you're doing $8K a month, this is how you eventually hire your first VA without losing your mind. If you're at $80K a month, this is how you stop being the bottleneck in your own business. Start with inventory reorder triggers or PPC weekly review. Those 2 alone will return hours every month. Move 2. Map your catalog, not just your SKUs. Pull up your top 3 products. Ask, who is this customer? What else do they buy? What problem are they solving? You're not looking for random products. You're looking for the next logical offer to the same buyer. A seller at $10K a month needs one strong adjacent product. A seller at $80K a month needs a 6 to 10 SKU roadmap with margin targets and launch sequencing. Same principle, different scale. Move 3. Build a 90-day cash flow projection. Open a spreadsheet. List every inflow and outflow you can predict over the next 90 days. Inventory orders, ad spend, FBA fees, loan payments, seasonal demand shifts. If you've never done this before, you will find a gap you didn't know existed. That gap is a problem you can solve now or a crisis you'll manage later. Sellers who cross $1 million almost always have this visibility. Sellers who stall at 250Ks almost never do. These 3 moves compound. Document, expand, project. Do all 3 and your ceiling moves. The 250K stall is real. It's not a market problem. It's not a product problem. It's a structural problem. And structural problems have structural solutions. If you're at $10K a month, you now know what to build before you hit the wall. If you're already stalled, you know exactly which lever to pull first. If you're at 500Ks and you're still running on instinct and tribal knowledge, this is your honest signal that the clock is ticking. At Voltage, we've been doing this for 13 years. Not as coaches, not as consultants who've read the playbooks. As operators who have built, managed, and scaled Amazon businesses at every level, from first product launches to 8-figure catalogs, we've seen every version of the $250K ceiling. We know what breaks it. Our operator-led approach means when you work with us, you're not getting a framework. You're getting someone who has lived the exact problem you're trying to solve and built a system around the solution. If you're ready to stop guessing at what's capping your growth and start building the structure that crosses the bridge, go to voltagedm.com. Tell us where you are. We'll tell you what we see and what we do next. No pressure, no pitch deck, just operator-to-operator honesty. The bridge from $250K to $1 million isn't a mystery. It's a sequence. And the sellers who cross it aren't smarter than you. They just stopped running the business the way it ran at half the size. Thanks for being here. I'm Neil Twa. This is the High Voltage Business Builders podcast. Build the structure. Cross the bridge.
That's a wrap on today's episode. If something we covered today sparked an idea or made you wonder where you actually fit in the e-commerce landscape, there's a good place to start. Head over to voltagedm.com/discover. Answer a few questions, and we'll point you toward the right path for where you are right now. We'll be back tomorrow with another edge. Until then, stay high voltage.